Hey everybody, tonight we're going to do a review on this knife here. This is the Cold Steel GoldenEye. It is their 2017 collection, and I'm just going to tell you right up front, no spoilers, this thing is awesome. I can't hardly think of anything that I don't like about this knife. But I'm going to go into the details of it anyways. So let's start where we always start. This hat, well, let me check this out. You check this specs out real quick if you want to pause and look at that. Alright. This has a 3.5 inch spear point blade. Check that thing out. I love this blade. Love it, love it. If I can just get it to focus. There you go. Check that out. This thing came super sharp. Just about every other cold steel knife I've received came razor sharp like that. I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted by the awesomeness of the knife. Now, it came with this Andrew Demko creation, the GoldenEye thumb stud hole thingy. And what it is, I don't know if you can check it out, but it is a ramped, it's got a little ramp on there, little steps that ramp up to where your thumb's going to be pushing off of. Now, when I first saw this, of course, it's going to be compared to the Spydercos and the Spidey holes. So when I first saw this, I was kind of concerned. I didn't really understand the utility of it. But this thing, I mean, look at that. It flips right open. It's perfect. It gives you the space you need for your thumb to push off on, just like that. Now, I told somebody earlier, it flicks open about 90% without wrist flip, but it's starting to open up better. Look at that. Right on camera. Right when I need it. So you have that. And I like the way the gold looks. I've read some reviews. People don't like the gold eye. As far as the color, I love it. I love it. And what I'm learning and that I love about knives is just, if it can be different, but it can be useful, why not? Why have just a hole there or another stainless hole? Or stainless insert when it stands out? I can't think of a reason not to have something to stand out like that. Now, if it's not your cup of tea, that's fine. I mean, I'm not putting that down, but I like it. I like it a lot. All right, you come down here to the, let's see, how many inches was that? They say it's 8 3/8 inches overall, and the handle is 4 7/8 inches. So that's got a good grip on it. Lots of size. Lots of room to put your fingers. Gives you a little extra down here. Gives you a nice little choil there. And then it's got an area here where you're safe to come up and get in close if you need to for intricate splinter removal. Now that was one of the, if I had to nitpick this knife, there isn't any jimping up this thumb ramp here. All the jimping just kind of cuts out right about here, and there's nothing for that. But I think the thumb ramp gives you enough of a place to put your thumb without having to worry about slipping off into space. And then if you have this, it's like a half choil shape here. It's not as pronounced as the Lawman choil, if you can see the difference there. But it still gives you a place to put your finger safely, and you can get up here like so with your thumb and not have to worry about it. Alright, you got a reversible clip. Sweet, cool looking gold clip. I know a lot of people don't like the gold clip. It's a pretty shallow clip though, as far as how much is going to be sticking out of your pocket. So let's see, let's shut this up so I don't cut myself. You got your pocket about that much is going to show. And that's kind of cool. I mean, hold on one second. Let's see what it looks like on this bag here. This will pretend this is your pocket here. Alright, put that there. So you're carrying that around. You got a cool gold clip hanging out your pocket. There you go. I know a lot of people don't like to bring attention to what they're carrying, but if you're carrying a knife like this, I don't see what the issue is. It's not overly long. It's not overly exciting to the crowds if you pull it out. If you're trying to be stealth, I guess that kind of could mess you up. But you probably wouldn't want to carry this knife anyways. I don't know for sure. I'm not a stealth knife fighter. I have been known to chunk a few around the room though. Alright, where were we? Alright. Tip up, reverse clip. Oh, let me show you one of the cool things that I liked about this knife a lot. I think they changed the lock position on that triad lock. Now let's do it to his closest relative here, the Lawman. Alright, now look, we're going to hold these as close as possible, but look at where the Lawman's lock is, the lock press, compared to where that GoldenEye is. And then also, look at the lock pin position here, as opposed to there. And all that does is make it so much easier to depress that thing. My wife, who doesn't play with knives much, noticed right away how easy this was to close. I mean, anybody, I know a lot of you have done this, giving a cold steel over to somebody that doesn't really know knives or doesn't mess with them as much as we do, and that maybe their thumbs aren't used to it, and so they sit there, especially with the bigger ones. This holdout would tear some people up. Yeah, see? The same thing here, look. Check out where that pin is. Oh, I guess it's a little bit different on the pin. I guess it's about the same distance on that holdout. But still, that lock's a little bit further away. Maybe I'm just a wuss. I should be able to close that easier. But it makes it for a super smooth closing. Just check this out. Look, I'm not going to show you. Let's see. There you go. Boom. Alright, what else can we talk about? We talked about the jimping. We talked about the lock. Of course, the triad lock. Unbeatable strength in that lock. And talked about the eye. I love the green and gold. I mean, I like the color scheme, obviously. So I don't find that off-putting or anything. I like the clip. It's super. This is just a super EDC knife. And you weigh it here. I think it weighed a little bit more than it said it did on the box. Let's make sure we get that on camera. 4.27. They said it's 4.1. I think that's a huge difference there. Not a big deal. Alright, I brought these other knives out just to kind of compare them real quick. Obviously, the comparison here is going to be between the Lawman and the GoldenEye. And they're comparable. Thickness across the back is just about even. The blade is shaped differently. You got that swedge going down here. Not so much here, or not at all here. I mean, you can't take away from the Lawman. Just because the GoldenEye is awesome doesn't make the Lawman less awesome. That being said, let's weigh this thing just real quick, just to remember what the Lawman weighs. Can we see that? 4.27 with the lanyard. So you're looking at about 4.1 maybe, something like that. So they're pretty close in weight. However, if I had to grab one, and I'm ready for people to unsub from my channel, I think just because it's fun to look at, and maybe a little more fun to play with, and I can't think of anything that this one can do that this one cannot do. Can you? If you do, comment down here what you think this one does that this one doesn't. I love this knife. I'm going to grab this knife over this knife. Now, doesn't mean I don't love this knife. See, I got it clipped for both pockets. Maybe they go on a date together. Maybe one's in the left pocket, one's in the right pocket. I still love you. Still love you, Mr. Lawman. However, I love this GoldenEye. I've been playing with it all day, and I can't figure out why you wouldn't like this knife. But anyway, so that's how they compared. The grip is kind of comparable. This is a deeper finger hole here. This feels really comfortable. And it's thin across the back, but it's still wide enough to make it not this knife as far as as being able to hold on to. That's the one thing. If this knife was down here, just as thick as this one across the body here, I would really like this knife a lot more. It's just that thinness. I think it's because my fingers are so fat. That's a cool knife still. The only reason I brought this one out to compare is it feels like the G10 on this GoldenEye. It's rough like that. They both got the same roughness. I know this Lawman's got rough G10, but it's not as rough as this. This is a little tiny bit rougher. And then I brought this one out just to demonstrate the differences in the blade. And again, I still love these knives. I love the holdout. But, oh, and that's what I brought this one out for. These thumb studs, if you're not used to these thumb studs, and obviously I am, I've got big old callus on my thumbs. This thing is awesome. This thing doesn't hurt. Getting used to it doesn't hurt. You know how even though we got tough thumbs, if you hit it somewhere different or start something new, different kind of knife, it takes a day or two to get used to. This one's not like that. This thing is good from the get-go. And it flicks open nicely. It grabs your thumb. It's not just here to look pretty. He did a really good job designing this thing. And I know some people don't like the ramp, but if you give it a chance, I didn't have to give it a chance. Right there, boom. Right where you need to go with it. That angle out is where the ramp is. It's going out, see? I'm not putting a ton of pressure on it, and it's going out. See? It just kind of grabs your thumb where it needs to grab it. Boom. Alright, so I think I hit all the high points here. I know I read in the comments on the what came to my door video that somebody got this in carbon fiber. I wanted to wait. You're much braver than me for getting it in carbon fiber right from the get-go. That's pretty cool. I wanted to wait to see how I liked it, and I love it. I will definitely be getting this in carbon fiber sometime in the future. It's definitely worth it. This is the kind of knife that you want in carbon fiber. And can you imagine a carbon fiber Lawman? It's just that kind of idea. If they took all the blacking off of that thing and made a really nice dressed up carbon fiber version of this, that's what I think this is going to be. I can totally see this being carbon fiber worthy. Now, you know, I know it's the Steve Austin broken skull and that kind of oxymorons or contradictive to what carbon fiber would bring to it. But this in carbon fiber will be awesome. I hope he posts a video or at least sends us some pictures. Alright, I think that's it. I think I've rambled on and on. I love this knife. If you're looking at it and you're on the fence and you're like, well, I haven't really had to hold one, I haven't got a chance. I like my Lawman, but I'm not sure I'm going to like the GoldenEye. Trust me, get it. You're not going to regret it. You're not going to want to send it back or anything. I mean, that's a great knife. Right up there with the Lawman. I think the Lawman is such an icon right now, especially with cold steel fans, but even in the knife community, anybody that's held one likes this thing. That would be the only reason people don't like that over this. This has everything that one has. And if it doesn't, please, that's what we're here for. We're here to talk. Let me know. So like, subscribe. All you Lawman fans, let me know what you think as far as utility for both of these and what does what and who does what. And I will talk to y'all later.